What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pub Sports Radio Baseball Show. My name is Jose Bouquet. Of course, joined alongside with my good buddy Andrew Santangelo. Andrew, signed JT Santangelo. How are you doing today? You have yourself on mute, sir. So it's a good start to the show.
You're the one that always mutes it.
Well, you muted yourself today, sir. That was not me.
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. Another great day for free agency. Got some awards to talk about. I know you're excited with some recent news, but
I'm not excited. I told you this was going to happen for months. I mean,
doesn't mean you can't be excited whether you knew it was going to happen or not. I mean,
now I have a baseball team to root for again. I feel great.
And you always had a baseball team to root for.
My manager back. It feels awesome, but we'll talk about that. It's going to be great. Can't wait. Especially we're going to talk about a now legendary quote, Andrew, too. That is the title of this episode. I'm a Hall of Famer, brother. Shout out. We'll talk about that here in a second. And we'll also talk about some free agents, some pitchers this week. Last Thursday, I believe, we talked about hitters. I went through that breakdown, but as expected, free agency for baseball is not very exciting right now. No real major signings yet, but we expected this.
I'm surprised we got one signing already, honestly.
Yeah, shout out to Robbie Ray, who I guess we'll talk about here soon, but shout out to you, Robbie Ray. Go get your money. We'll talk about that too. So that'll be fun. Andrew, how's your week, Andrew? Any complaints? Like you said, National Signing Day tomorrow. It's going to be exciting.
It is National Signing Day tomorrow for college. So, at work, I was working on some things for that. So that was exciting. Oklahoma State gave us a scare, but survived. So still controlling the Big 12. So I'm happy with that. Eagles had a bye week, so had a stress-free Sunday.
No, you won the bye week with the Cowboys,
Living large, first place, hosted a playoff game.
Redskins, Washington football team, they blow it too. So you're living large. Got a commanding lead in your division.
Commanding 3-4-1, commanding lead.
Okay, well, before we get into all this baseball talk, let's talk about our friends at Built Bars. Andrew, Built Bars. Have you had some Built Bars yet, Andrew? Because if you haven't, you're insane. These protein bars are delicious, Andrew Santangelo. They're delicious. And guess what, Andrew? If you use 20%, if you use promo code PUBSPORTS, you get 20% off your first purchase, Andrew. 20% whole percent. Go to BuiltBars.com. Go get yourself some protein bars. They taste great. 20% off your first purchase with promo code PUBSPORTS. All right, let's get into that infamous quote that we mentioned earlier. Mr. Tony La Russa. The most controversial hire of this offseason so far, that includes two people that are alleged cheaters. It is pretty interesting to see this so far. Jerry Reinsdorf hires Tony La Russa, contrary to everyone's belief. We'll talk about why, I guess, here soon. But news came out, I think it was yesterday, that Tony La Russa was arrested again for a DUI in February. He was not convicted of it yet. The case is still open, so I guess we'll see what happens there. But he was arrested for another DUI, and I'm just gonna read this quote, Andrew, and I just want to hear your reaction. Do you see my ring? I'm a Hall of Fame baseball person. Actually, he actually said I'm a Hall of Famer baseball person. Hall of Famer baseball. Good. So that's good right there. I'm legit. I'm a Hall of Famer, brother. You're trying to embarrass me. This was Tony La Russa to the police officer that arrested him. The White Sox knew about this. That did not stop Jerry Reinsdorf from hiring him. This hire is looking worse every day. And Andrew, I just want to hear your thoughts on this right now.
I mean, why would it stop him from hiring him? He's a Hall of Famer, so.
Yeah, brother, come on, dude. I say that to police officers all the time, dude. I'm a Hall of Famer, brother. Come on.
I was just, when I first read it, I was just picturing him. I mean, this guy's 76 years old. He's at this point his car's stopped. He's with the cops. I'm just picturing him like because I don't know. I feel like a lot of these guys, it's what they try to do when they are high up. They think they can get away with a lot of things, and I mean, he honestly, he's probably truly believed it almost. Like, okay, I'm Tony La Russa. You know who I am. You'll let me get away with it or whatever, and we can just move on. But that's not the way the law works. But
And
according to the White Sox, though, they're okay with it. So
did you see what happened, or like what prompted him to get pulled over?
didn't he like hit the curb or something?
Yeah, so he, doing his thing, drinking out here, point 096 BAC. So he's pretty lit. He's driving around, apparently merged like 3 lanes and just smashed a curb, blew out a tire, and apparently smelled like alcohol. So Tony is out here, but Jerry Reinsdorf hired him again because I didn't read this really. I kind of know about it. I don't know. All this stuff brought it up, so you get hit over the head with this a lot. That Jerry, he was on the White Sox, and then I think the White Sox general manager, whoever, didn't re-sign Larussa. Then he goes to the Oakland Athletics and dominates there. Shout out to Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco. But it's pretty funny that after all these years now, he wants to rectify this mistake. And did you see the Marcus Stroman quotes?
I did. I was gonna bring that up too.
Yeah, go ahead and explain to the people what good old Marcus Stroman was up to.
So basically, obviously, big controversy with now you got all the. And this is where I think it becomes more alarming. All the fans obviously already have a lot of backlash and stuff, and the fans' backlash doesn't obviously mean anything to the White Sox front office as they continue to go through with the hire. So Jeff Passan put out his tweet about Tony La Russa and everything going on, and I think included in that tweet was that the White Sox knew about it. And Stroman kind of responded with, I forget his initial response, but then with a fan commented back and said, basically, how much would they have to pay you to bring you into the White Sox? And he said, no amount of money, honestly. Peace of my mind is always priority.
Yeah,
and
that's hilarious. That's honestly hilarious. But go ahead.
And I think this is alarming because, one, obviously, Tony La Russa has been in controversies before in the media, and the exact quote, and I don't remember exactly what he did to be called this, but the fan, his exact question is start quote, how much money would it take for you to play for an old and seemingly racist alcoholic, end quote. I don't remember something coming out about him being racist.
The racist thing, I can let me inform you, Andrew.
But
you remember, let me tell you why he's being called a racist. Do you remember our good friend Colin Kaepernick?
Absolutely.
So, if you guys were living under a rock, he had his whole kneeling for the national anthem thing, blah, blah, blah. And, told Tony La Russa, being a 76-year-old man, had some thoughts. And he wanted to share these thoughts. And I think the quote that really sums it up, and, he was obviously against Kaepernick kneeling and all this stuff, but he said, quote, I really question the sincerity of someone like Colin Kaepernick. He was not a fan of the kneeling. He was not a fan of Colin Kaepernick. He obviously he came out against Fernando Tatis on the 3-0 home run thing. He's anti let the kids play. He might be anti-equality for all we know. And it seems like every day it's just getting worse, Andrew. Worse and worse and worse.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty bad. And this is where I think it becomes alarming about Stroman's comments. Obviously, they're not going to forget about what happened. So if Stroman says he's not going there, first off, what other free agents are going to say that same thing? And then second off, how many players on the current White Sox team are going to want out? I think they need to be alarmed too. So I think White Sox already came out and said that this isn't going to affect their hire and they're going to keep them. So I think it's going to be a very interesting offseason and, frankly, next few months and into the season to see how players react with everything. And honestly, White Sox went from a dark horse last year to having a good season to who knows what they're going to be next year now because of everything going on.
Yeah, I know.
And it all starts with they probably had no reason to get rid of their manager, Renneria, last year. So it's an interesting situation in Chicago.
It's so dumb, Andrew. It's so dumb. It's ridiculously dumb. No, that's Jerry Reinsdorf. The Last Dance let us get a glimpse into that man's baseball and basketball psyche. So, Andrew, you want to talk some breaking news?
Hey, I'm always down for breaking news. So
As you know, Andrew, it is award season.
it is award season.
It feels like the season ended like 2 months ago now, even though it ended like 2 days ago. We're still announcing awards. This is award week. And NL Manager of the Year has just been announced. Andrew, Don Mattingly, Donnie Baseball, is the NL Manager of the Year this year for taking a team that everyone thought would finish last place, especially on this program. We thought would finish in last place. They go out, they make the playoffs, they even win a series. Um, this is it was incredible. It was incredible what Don Mattingly did this year. It's flat out incredible. We thought that this might be the end of his career. Honestly, probably preseason we were saying maybe he's one of the coaches that could get fired, but now he's probably earned himself like another 5 years at the helm there.
Yeah, very glad they finally got one award right.
Oh, bro.
One for three so far in the awards.
Not at all. 3 for 3, but okay.
But I think even though the Dodgers won obviously and everything, and they had the best record and were clear cut best team in baseball, I think this is the right decision. Dodgers were expected to be there, expected to go to the World Series. So obviously they achieved a great deal, but in terms of the manager situation, Don Mattingly doing what he did was very impressive, and I think he deserves it completely.
Who'd you just say just cheated? What did you just casually drop that someone was
cheated?
Oh,
I did not. I said obviously what the Dodgers achieved was great, but it was expected. So what Don Mattingly did was, to me, I don't want to say more impressive, obviously, because winning a World Series is impressive, but what he did was like just a complete utter shock and surprising, and nobody saw that coming. Yeah. Especially after the beginning of the season meltdown with the COVID cases.
Yeah, for sure. I'm right there with you. There's the awards are 3 for 3 so far. So shout out to the people that get to pick these awards. Yeah, no, I mean they're doing well. What can I say? I mean, if you guys disagree with any of the awards that have come out so far, please leave a comment below. But we're gonna get into the awards real fast. Andrew, you ready?
Real quick, AL's not out yet, is it?
AL is not out yet, I believe. Okay. I have a MLB Network on behind me. I think they're still going through it, but I think we can safely say that Kevin Cash is going to win AL Manager of the Year.
You would think so.
It'll be announced in like 20 minutes or so. We'll talk about it. Not even. We'll probably announce in like 5 minutes. But are you ready for your NL Roy? And Andrew, this is an award that's near and dear to your heart right now.
I'm ready.
NL Rookie of the Year. Devin Williams, relief pitcher for the Milwaukee Brewers, the latest relief pitcher to come up and just be the absolute lights out guy. We talked about his stats last week when we previewed this. I said that this is probably the guy that should win this award because of how good he was this year. But Andrew, you don't agree. So I'd love to hear your thoughts.
No, I mean, I think obviously what he did was very impressive. I think, well, first off, you go on MLB.com, he's not even qualified as a rookie. So that says it all right there.
It's 2020. Come on. Qualifications don't matter.
I guess that's true. But, I mean, in a way, I'm just joking because obviously I wanted the Philly to get it and Alec Bohm. But, I mean, Devin Williams, what? We said it last week, he get 1 run in 24, 25 innings, I think it was.
Right? This is ridiculous. It was literally 1 run, and it was on a home run, too.
Absolutely.
And that was his start or his second appearance, too, by the way. So
it was a credible season, and I think, obviously, with what happened, I think he was the first reliever ever to win Rookie of the Year, right?
I think so, yeah.
So, I mean, that shows the feat in itself right there. And never happened before because, I mean, frankly, relievers get overlooked a little bit. And outside, I mean, obviously they have their own award there in the Reliever of the Year award. But in terms of major awards like that and MVP, it takes a dramatic, fantastic, successful season, and he had it. Unfortunately, we didn't get to watch him play much in the postseason with their short exit to against the Dodgers.
He
But
didn't even get to play in the postseason in general. He didn't even. He was hurt at the end of the year or something like that.
okay, I couldn't remember. That's why I said that. But I think it was a good race, and I think Alec Boehm second kind of surprised me as well. I mean, we both said who we thought were going to win, but we both agreed that we thought they gave it to Jake for lasting throughout the entire season and having the success build up through the season. So I
too.
What was that?
Doesn't even get top 2 either.
No, yeah, it follows the 3, which I think in itself was a little surprising to me. But again, I think hopefully it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully the rookies all continue to improve next year as well. And obviously for Williams, it'll be tough to improve off that. So his numbers basically can only go down from there.
I know.
But
yeah, good year for Devin Williams. I mean, I like watching him pitch. His changeup measures the same like movement as Adam Ottavino's slider, which is ridiculous. So I mean, I can't wait to watch it. It's weird that the Brewers can, just like churn out these relievers. Josh Hader, dominant. I mean, probably gonna get traded soon, but he's that guy. And guess what? Devin Williams is gonna slide right in there next. Can't wait. Who was the closer before Hader?
Oh,
I can't remember. I was like, is it
At least I can find it, but
I think there was a guy after Axford. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, it was. I think it was Axford.
Okay, well, you look that up. Shout out to John Axford, by the way, for being a great Oscar.
Where is he now?
he's just chilling at home, guessing the Oscars nowadays, just banging them on. He guesses like every category for the Oscars every year, and he just one year he got like all of them correct because he's a stud.
Wow. So according to Baseball Reference, Oxford hasn't been the closer since 2012.
Yeah. Okay. So there is a guy after him. So
There was multiple guys after.
Okay.
2013, you had Jim Henderson.
Okay. No, not him. Get him out.
2014 and 2015 was Francisco Rodriguez.
Okay, Rod. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
That's who I was thinking as well.
2000. Go ahead.
No, there's another guy. Go ahead.
There's 2 more guys. 2016 was Jeremy Jeffers.
Okay, that's who I was thinking as well.
And then, what is this year? 2017 and 18 was Corey Knebel.
Corey Knebel. Wow, where is he nowadays?
He is 2020. So he's still with the Brewers. He just got removed from closer.
Okay, I was about to say, man, he sounds
made the All-Star game in 2017. Had a 1.78 ERA in 76 games.
Good.
With 39 saves. That's a very successful season. And then last year he had a 6.08 ERA.
Well, yeah. So like I said, the Brewers are somewhat good at cranking out these relievers. So he's just another line of them. It's pretty impressive. Andrew, you ready for my favorite storyline of the week? I guess story.
Hold on. Yeah, I give the shout out to the AL Rookie of the Year.
I guess. Whatever. Kyle Lewis wins it unanimously too. Had a great year, top to bottom. I mean, no one really knows about him because he lives in Seattle. He does his work in Seattle, but he's the only bright spot of that team. Did Daniel Vogelbach win it last year? Am I imagining that?
I think you are.
Wasn't
it the Astro?
Oh yeah, Jordan Alvarez. Yeah,
Yeah.
He was for sure him. No, but I'm just thinking because the Mariners have had these like big superstar performances from random guys. Like Kyle Lewis, obviously, is the latest one, but Daniel Vogelbach had a year where he hit like 30 home runs and dominated there, and now I think he's on the Blue Jays now again. But who knows? Yeah, he got outright waived. So I want to see Kyle Lewis keep on doing it. Luis Robert finished in second. Christian Javier in third, and then there's someone else interesting. I don't remember who now. By the way, Sixto Sanchez getting a vote for AL Rookie or NL Rookie of the Year. By the way, it was funny. Shout out to Sixtos. Do you have Kyle Lewis thoughts?
A little confused by Sam's comment. We've been on here talking about how Kyle Lewis has been a stud.
Sam just Sam's a hater. He hates Alex Cora. He's sick. He's sick to see him back.
Well, no, we didn't say anything bad about him, did we?
No, I just thought I just think he's boring. Well, I don't think he's boring. I just keep seeing it. You know, Kyle Lewis is good. He had a great year this year, but I kind of lumping him into the Daniel Vogelbach territory is a little disrespectful. I just need to see it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you guys say it with anybody. I mean, how many rookie of the years in all sports do you see win rookie of the year and then kind of drop off and you never hear of him again?
Yeah, great year, Kyle Lewis. Congratulations, deserves all the praise.
So, I mean, it's on him. I mean, because now pitchers have the adjustment in the offseason. He's going to have to make adjustments to start next year, obviously. And, I mean, there's no guarantee he's going to continue his success in the next year. It's all about what he does in the offseason. I was shocked he was unanimous.
I was too. I was very shocked he was unanimous as well. But, you know, the numbers, you look at the numbers, I think we looked at him and said Kyle Lewis is beating him in everything. So,
no, that's why I was surprised and said Lewis should have won. They're tied in home runs. Lewis has more doubles, like 6 less hits in 2 less games. He's got more RBIs than him. He's got more stolen bases. So, I mean, the really big thing, the big difference, which I think it came down to, was the averages, 262 to 233. I think that's where it came down to. Because everything else, they're pretty close, hand in hand.
Yeah. So, you have any more rookie of the year thoughts?
No, I'm excited to see what next year's rookies bring.
Yeah, next year's rookies are good. Randy Arozarena is 6
right.
I
wonder what you're the odds maker. I wonder what his early odds are for AL rookie of the year next year.
I'll give it a Google. I'll give it a quick Google real quick. Rookie of the year odds. I mean, my boy Tanner Houck on the Red Sox. He made like 4 starts and dominated. He looks like a mini Chris Sale, which is the most like shocking thing. He looks like a mini Chris Sale. He throws from the side a little bit, and the Red Sox are developing a pitcher. It's pretty weird. It's pretty weird, Andrew. The Red Sox have not developed a pitcher in a long time, so it's pretty funny. Let me see. God, I need some odds. Where are the odds, guys?
It might not be out yet because I mean they literally just ended this year's with yesterday.
Well, Andrew, I'll hate to break it to you. According to betting pros, there are definitely no odds. But I can tell you right now, MLB.com already has the 2021 Rookie of the Years candidates, and there's a pretty stacked class. We've got Ryan Mountcastle on the Orioles, Tristan McKenzie. Let's not forget about him. Big Bobby Dahlback. Love Bobby Dahlback. Nick Madrigal is on there, the second baseman for the White Sox. He's incredible. He might hit like fucking 400 for all we know. Dan Dunning is fine. We have some pirate guy that no one heard of. Ian Henderson. Don't forget about he's still a rookie, which is crazy. Six Toes. Joey Bart on the Giants.
Oh, so this didn't count as a 6-toe rookie or rookie season?
No, he didn't. He did not fully qualify, I suppose. But let's not forget about Casey Mize, Nate Pearson, Brendan McKay if he gets called up. Michael Kopech is supposed to come up. Trent Struble, or I think that's how you say his name. I don't remember how to say his name. And your boy Spencer Howard.
Oh, he made it?
He's on the other candidates, under the top 100.
Honorable mention?
Yeah, he's definitely an honorable mention. He's number 28, apparently. So good for him. So, but yeah, that's gonna be a fun. I cannot wait for the 2021 rookie class. Is gonna be good.
Real quick, going off of some odds here. I don't know if you pay attention. Do you follow MLB Picks on Twitter?
I don't think so. No.
I was looking at it because they released a graphic earlier today, and they were showing preseason odds for Cy Young at the beginning of the year, and then obviously it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow when they announce it. But if you Trevor Bauer was plus 2,500.
Oh,
I mean, I think we were gonna sit here and say he's probably gonna win. So that's a pretty good number.
My heart, yeah, that's a great number. Oh my god, that's a great bet. Yeah.
What's even more surprising is he's the same odds as Darvish. They were both plus 2,500, and then DeGrom was plus 280.
Well, I mean,
DeGrom's understandable, but I'm surprised Bauer was the same as Darvish.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree with you there. What about the other side?
The other side, give me a second. AL Cy Young, Shane Bieber plus 1,600.
Ah,
You have some regrets right now?
yeah, damn. That's easy money right there. He had that locked in the bag after the first fucking start.
You were calling that from the end of the season last year. I feel like.
Oh my! I said he was an MVP candidate. He's got. By the way, we're not gonna talk about that yet. But he got robbed. He should be a top 3 MVP candidate.
Yeah, who was it again? Abreu?
I have it here. Let me see. It is Abreu, DJ LeMahieu, and Ramirez. DJ LeMahieu should not be up there. But whatever, it's fine.
But to finish out, Kenta Maeda was 10,000, and then Hyun-Jin Ryu was 3,500.
Well, I mean, doesn't matter. I guess it doesn't matter because Bieber's got that locked up pretty handily. So that's good. I mean, Andrew, you gotta remind me. We gotta take a hard look at those before the next season. A serious hard look at those because that was easy money this year with Bieber. What a joke I am. What a joke. All right, Andrew, I want you to introduce this next topic because I just want to hear it. It's music to my ears when I hear this.
Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah. I want to hear you say it, Andrew. I want to see who is the new. Well, I mean, I'm dressed up in my Red Sox gear today. It's a great day.
You are. I haven't seen you dressed down in Red Sox gear in a while.
Oh, I haven't had a reason to be happy about it.
Oh, I know. But so since Thursday, was it Sunday? Saturday? I don't remember the exact day. But one of these days, since last Thursday, Jose's Boston Red Sox finally did what he wanted them to do. And they signed their former manager, Alex Cora.
Cora. God.
Cora. Same thing. You hear announcers say both.
Okay. Yeah.
That's where I get it from.
Alex Cora is back. He's back on the Red Sox. Before he got fired, I said he was the best manager in baseball before he was fired. What would you say?
Whoa, best manager in baseball?
Yeah. First year he led the Red Sox to the best team ever. The second year they took a step back. I mean, still best manager in baseball for me.
Took a step back for a couple reasons.
Yeah, you can't control something. But pitching health.
You can't call a guy, I don't know, calling him the best manager after one season. I think it's a bit early.
Well, okay. So Alex Cora, best manager in baseball, back with the Red Sox. It feels great, Andrew. It's giving me a reason to wake up in the mornings now. It's like a warm blanket just over me, and I'm just nice and snuggled up, and it's just nice to know that my baseball team is in the hands of Alex Cora. It just makes me feel good.
No, I mean he's a great manager. I don't have issue with it. I mean, I know it's going to cause a lot of controversy, but
is it?
I mean, it's just it already has.
I mean,
go on Twitter with you, and probably every Red Sox fan has it. But you on Twitter, it's more than just Sam that doesn't like it. It's not like it's the only one.
Okay, I need to ask you this because I'm in my bubble, my Red Sox bubble, I suppose. I have not seen one person shit on this besides Sam. And Sam, as you can tell by his comments, is not very happy about this. I would love to hear your perspective, Andrew. You're a non-biased person.
I'm non-biased.
I would like to hear your thoughts on Alex Cora being the manager of the Red Sox after the cheating scandal thing all happened. I want to know what your thoughts are. Because you're baseball purity at its finest.
I mean, here's the thing. I have no issue with it. It's going to happen. Whether you like the guy or not, that's the difference. Whether I like the guy or not, it's a different story. You knew this guy wasn't going to go without being a manager the rest of his life. I mean, you probably know his exact age, but he's on the younger side in terms of managers. I mean, like you said, he was coming off winning the World Series his first year. And then you obviously saw the dramatic fall in the Red Sox after he left and everything. So, I mean, whether the Red Sox signed him or not, you knew he was getting a job. You knew he was going to get re-signed, just like you knew AJ Hinch was going to get re-signed. And to me, it's good. Some teams going to have to bite the bullet and be that team, take whatever comes their way in the beginning, and when it's all said and done, if it doesn't work out for whatever reason this time, yeah, they'll be laughed at and everything, and people will find humor in it. But I mean, let's be real. We're gonna assume he's gonna have success, and they'll go far with him, and they'll do a good job. And that's why that's my thing. It's cross sports for a little bit. Let's take Bill Belichick. Amount of times he cheated. He never even got fired. But if he would have got fired, we all know that every single team in the NFL would have been looking at signing Bill Belichick.
Yes.
I know it was just one play, but nothing happened to Mike Tomlin when he's on the sideline here tripping players on kickoff. Like you go to college sports, they have penalties too. The guy gets fired and they'll eventually get re-signed unless it's something like major, obviously. But when it's all said and done, you just sit out a year or two and then you get re-signed. So whether we like these guys or not, like that's just the reality of the situation. I mean, he's not like he committed a huge crime and is a horrible person. Like, so when it's all said and done, I don't have a big issue with it. I think, is he better than AJ Hinch? I think that's something we gotta wait and see. Honestly, I think they kind of go toe to toe. We really don't know where they're at. So I think that'll kind of be interesting to see. So I can't sit here and say he was the best hire of the offseason. But I think they hired a very good manager. I don't have a huge issue with it because he was going to go somewhere. So I expected him to be – when they fired him, I wasn't going to sit here and say he's going to be a Red Sox, but I sat here and said he's going to be in the league in 2 years.
So what you're telling me is that the whole cheating scandal thing doesn't even bother you anymore?
I mean – even the Astros wise, yes, it's still there. And even the Red Sox, what they did was wrong. But in terms of the manager side, I don't have an issue. I don't know. I don't know the whole. I mean, you obviously took a dive deep in with the Red Sox and stuff. And I mean, yeah, obviously they come out with the Apple Watch stuff, and then Cora was there. So you know better than I do. But in terms of the situation. Red Sox wise, yeah, I'm kind of over it by now, and obviously the league was because I mean, what was their penalty outside of losing Core? Not much.
Lost like a draft pick that didn't even matter, and some dude got suspended.
I mean, I think I'm gonna cross sports here, but I think the Raiders got penalized more for breaking COVID rules than the Red Sox did for their situation, the cheating scandal. So I think you kind of see that and. I think the Red Sox stuff might be overblown a little bit. Is it still there? Did they cheat? Yes, probably a little bit. Not to the degree of the Astros. But, again, he's going to get signed. He goes to the Red Sox, and you can't fault a team for signing a guy like that. That's my view. Like what are the Red Sox supposed to do? Oh, we already tried him once, so let's go hire a lower key guy. Like, no, they're going to go out and sign the best guy available, and he was the best manager available.
So I watched the press conference today, Andrew. I don't know if that surprised you or not.
No, it doesn't surprise me at all.
Bored, and I saw the Steve Cohen press conference, and I was like, sure, I'll watch this for a minute. And then I saw the bottom Alex Cora press conference after. And I was like, oh, they're showing it here, so I might as well watch it. First 5 minutes, Cora basically just gave his full apology. I thought he was gonna cry. Actually, I felt bad. He did his whole apology, and then the questions come, blah, blah, blah. But he apologized, expressed his regret. They talked about the whole process. And let me tell you, Andrew, here's the difference between Alex Cora, AJ Hinch, and the Houston Astros players. I'll put Jeff Lunau in the Houston Astros players too because.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Because isn't what he did worse? Wasn't everything he mainly did, correct me if I'm wrong, was with the Astros?
He did not break a rule in Boston, yes.
So, that's why his penalty was more for what he did in Houston than what was actually done with the Red Sox. So I think that you got to take that into account as well. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. That's. I mean, I've been trying to sell that to people, and people like Sam just refuse. They just don't want to hear it anymore. But basically, Andrew, Chaim Bloom, he did his due diligence. He made a full fleshed out search. It wasn't your Tony La Russa to the White Sox I'm gonna hire this man no matter what happens in his past. No, Chaim did his due diligence. he interviewed a bunch of guys, 8 candidates, which I read today. I read them all, and they're pretty interesting names. They're all young, up and coming guys. Like the Yankees bench coach is one of them, which would have been hilarious. That would have been interesting to see. Don Kelly from the Pirates, I think that's their bench coach, and then Sam Fold from the Phillies. Actually, I
Yep.
think, yeah, I believe he's like player development or something there
Yeah.
for the Phillies. So him and Cora decided, or were the final 2 candidates. And Heim and Cora today at the press conference basically like explained what happened and how they got there. By the way, Kevin Cash, AL Manager of the Year, not surprising. But they talked about it. They rehashed everything. They worked it out. Apparently, there's some hard conversation, and I'm glad that Heim kind of, he kind of saw. I don't know if he saw the light, but he realized that Alex Cora, faults and all, is still the best manager for this team. And my favorite part about this too was the players were behind Cora the whole way. In the press conference, even Heim even said that the players came up to him unsolicited and they were like, "You got to hire Cora back." Blah blah blah. So I'm glad. I'm just happy I have my manager back, Andrew.
And again, I think that's the thing. I think the players valued him high. I think he kind of gets along with some of those players, and he's been there obviously with them. So I think that's why it kind of worked out well, or it kind of works well for them to sign him in that situation as well. So again, I think yes, it's gonna obviously what he did in Houston was wrong, and he did have some time to put on a good acting face. So let's see how much he actually meant in his apology.
I'll fight you, Andrew. I'll fight you here right now.
So I had to make that sure.
He used that as a teaching tool for his kids, Andrew. I'll fight you for my manager. I have some other things I wanted to mention.
All right, I got a couple questions for you.
Okay, well, let me get these out. So first of all, the main thing that I saw out of this was like, why did the Red Sox fire him if they're going to rehire him again? If they didn't fire him, well, all this stuff. That's the main thing I hear. I hear a lot. And my counter to this was apparently when all this stuff broke and all this and everything happened, Alex Cora went to Sam Kennedy and basically was like, "I gotta go. Like I gotta get out of here. Like blah. I did this, that, whatever. I for my role in this, I gotta get out." Cool. So I don't remember if they came out and said that they fired him or what, or they made mutually agreed way
Step down or whatever. Yeah.
whatever the vocabulary was. But Alex Cora basically left. It was on his terms, or well, not his terms, but he said he needed to leave. So that's one. That's the main thing I took away from that and there, and I guess it gave me an answer to why the Red Sox fired him in the first place. Number 2 was someone asked him during the press conference, why didn't he, you did this in Houston, or you were the alleged ringleader, which I don't believe in that either, by the way, Andrew, for mentioning that.
Well, you might have bias goggles on, but
whatever. I don't think he did that.
I mean, I think that part was shown that he was the leader in that.
I think it was a but whatever. The players are just throwing him under the bus. But we can talk about it later. But the manager or the reporter was basically like, why didn't you just use this in Boston? And that's a question that makes sense. Wouldn't you want to know, like, you did this in Houston allegedly, why didn't you do it in Boston too? And he said my favorite thing, Andrew, and a little, little jab in the back of Houston. He said, I didn't think we needed it. And went on to answer it, of course, blah, 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 blah. But he said, I didn't think we needed it. You know what that implies, Andrew?
That the Red Sox have a better team than the Astros?
That the Astros needed it to win the 2017 World Series, and they needed it.
See, I disagree with that. But...
No, Andrew. He and they needed it, apparently. So I really enjoyed that. And Alex Cora is the best manager in baseball. But whatever. Andrew, your questions?
I mean, I think Tony La Russa has a better resume, but
hey, you're right. No, it's gotta be there. More wins. More wins.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Hall of Famer.
Just in case you guys a Hall of Famer, brother.
Hey, I'm a Hall of Famer, brother. Oh man. I think only Hulk Hogan can pull off the effective brother. It's really sad that it didn't work out for Tony. But what are your questions, Andrew, for me? It seems like, I am the all things Red Sox, apparently. You know me.
First question about Alex Cora. What?
Yes, I love it. Okay.
Obviously, I think the whole world can tell that now. But like, I don't know what. So, like, what are your expectations for him this season?
Well,
like,
it depends. It depends on Heim, honestly. I mean, if we're just gonna say like, all right, Alex, rolling it back. We don't no pitching signed. This is what we're going. We're not gonna make the playoffs. It depends on free agency. And like I've told you, I think
okay, so
we'll start getting rolling here soon.
Let's say, okay, I'll just throw some hypotheticals out real quick. Say you guys sign, let's go, Marcus Stroman. You get Chris Sale back. You guys pick up Michael Brantley because that's the guy you want.
Yeah,
and that's your big splash. Or maybe you get a reliever.
I honestly,
like, are you expecting like high profile season?
No, I mean, this is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting like playoffs, like maybe. Like I mean, honestly, we have to rebuild the pitching staff, and that's not going to be like an overnight thing. And I mean, Alex Cora. The most impressive thing about Alex Cora is that you can see just how comfortable the players are when he's around and he's coaching them, and it translates to the field. So Rafael Devers was literally in the competition for the best third baseman in baseball with Nolan Arenado. Like he was playing so well. Besides, he can't field a fucking ground ball to save it.
That's a bit of a stretch because it was fielding. He doesn't come close to Nolan Arenado.
Can't field a ground ball to save his life.
Doesn't come close to Nolan Arenado because
doing incredible things. And this year, without Cora, and he had Ron Renick, he was basically just a fucking corpse out there. Devers didn't have a great season. Still did well, but it dropped off. Xander Bogaerts takes a step up, becomes a captain under Cora's watch. Doesn't do as great this year. Mookie Betts is incredible under Cora. Andrew Benintendi took a step with Cora. Everyone was just considerably better under Cora, and when he leaves, everyone just takes a step back and gets worse. I think it's a part of the culture thing. I can't wait to have him back. I mean, he obviously knows how to run a bullpen and everything. And Andrew, I don't want to, spoil my World Series pick, but the Red Sox have won a World Series with a first-year manager twice now. Their last two have been first-year managers. So,
please tell me you're not picking the Red Sox to make the World Series.
Alex Cora, first-year manager again.
He's not a first-year manager.
Yeah, he's running the first.
He was there 2 years ago.
First year with the Red Sox again.
It's not his first year with the Red Sox.
You never know. Okay, what are there more questions for?
Yeah, last question.
Sure.
What? And this kind of applies to me too. But what does Tony La Russa have to do with the White Sox to say we were wrong? No, I'm just curious. Like, if they make the playoffs, the same as last year.
No, I mean, yeah.
Or do you think? Because I really think he could kind of take them back and miss the playoffs. Like, that's how bad of a hire I think it was.
No, yeah, it's for sure. They can definitely step back and miss the playoffs. But I don't know if I said this, but I said contending for the playoffs for the Red Sox, right? Did I say that? Because that's what I expect from them.
Oh,
they should contend for the playoffs this year.
Okay.
I should make that clear. The White Sox. I mean, yes, they have to get to the ALCS. For me to be like, you know what, Tony, you're right. You can handle a bullpen and you can handle all these Cuban personalities, all these Latin personalities well. Sure, Tony, you can do that well. Make the CS.
Because hypothetical, because this right here would probably say, all right, you proved me wrong. 96 win season, you win the division, even if you lose first round.
Hey, we're not going to play that many games, Andrew. What you thinking? No, but if not,
I'm hopeful. We have 162 games scheduled out right now. I'm hopeful. All right.
No, even if you win 96 games and you win the division, nah, man. I think this team is expected to take that step forward and win the division next year. Honestly, they should be in that race firmly.
I don't know. I mean, they should be in the race, but I don't think they'll be favorites, depending on what the Indians do. But I think Twins will be at least.
Lindor.
Well, I said depending on what the Indians do, but at least the Twins will be the Twins will be the Twins will be favored over the White Sox.
Okay, maybe we'll see. We'll see. But I think it'll be close. But Tony La Russa definitely could be that. Take a step back here. Andrew, it's 45 minutes in the podcast. We have not even
Not even touched the starting pitcher.
not even talked about free agency yet. And so let's take a deep little dive in here, Andrew. Free agency, is going on as you might be able to tell. No signings really. Robbie Ray being the one of the only prominent ones, and Jose Peraza. Shout out to the Mets. But it's not a very top heavy pitcher class, but I think it's pretty deep, and I think there's some good names in here that could really make teams better. Andrew, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you hit it on the nose with it's not top heavy. Obviously, of Trevor Bauer, but that's it in terms of top heavy. Everything else, you get a lot of you got deep from three to five in the rotation, probably somewhere around there, and that can make a huge difference on rotations. I'm really interested to see what the market brings. Robbie Ray, who we talked about last year when he got traded at the deadline, had a down year and he got a $8 million for 1 year contract. So I think Toronto. They spent $8 million for Robbie Ray was a bit high for me considering the year he had last year. So I was kind of surprised to see that, but that's kind of telling. Like what's the contract like at Jake Odorizzi's going to get? Charlie Morton's going to get? Marcus Stroman's going to get? Like that they're going to be offering high. So teams are going to have to go out and spend. And I think maybe more than they're willing to or hoping for, because I think that contract honestly sets the bar high for some of those pitchers. And but no, there's a lot of names on here that can make a difference. And then there's veterans on here that you might take a chance at as a 4 or 5 starter, somewhere around there, hoping for a low risk, high reward in a Corey Kluber, a Jake Arrieta, an Adam Wainwright, Rick Porcello. So, again, not the biggest names anymore, but guys that have had success in the league you could probably get on a 1 year type deal. And again, low risk, high reward. So I'm really interested to see what kind of market they bring and what kind of contracts they get as well. But a lot of exciting names here. I know both of us are going to be looking for pitchers because that goes in the relief side too.
Yeah, I think this is like you said, or like we said, there's deep class, not many top names. Charlie Morton's a free agent technically, but I think we all kind of expect him to go back to Tampa Bay, to be honest, which is kind of weird. But I think he's going back to Tampa Bay, even though they don't spend much. He's their most expensive player, I think, besides him and Kevin Kiermaier. But they're going to restructure his contract. Like you said, Trevor Bauer, maybe a little Mike Minor in there, Andrew. Does that interest you? Maybe some Jake Odorizzi? Some
Mike Minor interests me.
Okay. Well, I think who do you think, Andrew, is the second best pitcher in this class? I think it's Marcus Stroman. Would you agree?
No, I'm going Charlie Morton. Are you not counting Charlie Morton? Like I know you said you expect him to go.
No. I was thinking if I count Charlie Morton, I guess besides Charlie Morton, because I don't think he's a real free agent. I think he's going.
Okay. So Trevor Bauer's one, so that's why I picked Morton too.
Fine. We'll count him 30, I guess. Is it Stroman's is third?
I don't know. I got mixed feelings on Stroman, if I'm being honest. Like I don't know
with you.
His consistency lacks. He opted out last year, right? Or did he get hurt early on? I can't remember.
He was hurt, and he was on his way back, and he was kind of collecting a check from the Mets, and then he was like, you know what, I'm out. When he got enough days to become a free agent.
So that's why I just nothing against him because you can't blame him for opting out and stuff. But I just think, with that being said, I can't put him at 3. I like instead. He had a really good year 2 years ago. I know he's skeptical too because he didn't pitch much last year either. So I was gonna say Jake Odorizzi, but I don't think he threw that much either. I think he only threw like 5 games, and he was kind of down before he got hurt. So I don't know. It really is just a 1-2 punch.
Really,
because you can even make an argument that Tanaka could be 3. As much as we see him up and down too, but what do you see from Stroman that you don't get in Tanaka?
Honestly, it's just youth at that point.
Yeah.
We're at the same kind of pitcher, just younger.
And I can't imagine him having the same year as he did this year, but Adam Wainwright had a good year. I can't put him at 3, but he's an interesting name too, just because he had a good year last year. I did hear him and Molina are trying to either stay in St. Louis or pair up and go somewhere. So it'd be kind of cool and interesting to see if that really does become a 2-way package almost. But I guess I have to lean into Stroman going over these names just because you don't. You don't know what you're getting out of the other guys. But you could the Mike. How about the Mike Minor do last year?
Mike Minor was not good last year.
Yeah, because
He was very bad. Let me tell you, Andrew, I remember this. He was terrible, and I bet on the Dodgers when they were facing when he was. Yeah, and then he fucking goes out there and dominates the fucking world champion Dodgers because he's an asshole and just decides to dominate when I bet against him. Damn you, Mike Minor. You're so good on certain days. No, he didn't do good this year, but he dominated last year, or I guess 2 years ago now, with the Rangers, I believe.
This is tough. I think I have to lean Stroman, but I will say a guy I'm really interested to see and what kind of contract he gets and who goes after him, because this is the biggest, probably one of the bigger risks, but biggest reward possibilities too, and that's Corey Kluber. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a big fan of his, but if he bounces back to even half of what he used to be, that's going to be a steal.
I think if you had to guess right now, where do you think Corey Kluber goes? Just take a guess. Because I think he stays with the Rangers, to be honest, and I just think they just negotiate a lower deal.
I mean, I wouldn't hate that if I was Rangers fans, but I think.
Yeah. But the issue is the Rangers aren't. I mean, now that Sam's here, I guess he's going to get to defend his team. The Rangers are just so irrelevant now that it's not as fun. Like even if you went to New York, at least it would make it more interesting. That's my issue with your Corey Kluber.
Because there's two options here. There's two options.
Sure.
You're either going to get. I think you're going to get two things. I don't think he goes to a mediocre of the pack team with a chance to make the playoffs. I think he's going to go to a high contender that can take a risk on a guy like him and can try to prove himself and then turn a good rotation into a great rotation. Or I think he kind of goes to a bottom feeder type team and that hopes he turns into a great pitcher that they can move at the deadline for good pieces. If that makes sense. I don't think he lands in a mediocre team like, say, I don't know, let's see. I guess like a Brewers. They were kind of mediocre last year. I can't see them going after like a chance like him. I really see him more on, let's say, a Houston-type team where you expect to have Verlander back, you have Greinke, you have all those guys, and you can kind of turn that into from a good to a great rotation. Or the same thing if he goes to, I mean, hey, let's say the Dodgers. I mean, you have a locked up rotation. What's the worst case if Corey Kluber for the Dodgers turns out to be a very bad 5-starter? You lose Corey Kluber and you go into whatever depth you have on that franchise.
Damn.
But just imagine if he turns into half of what he was and he could be a 3-type starter, and then you run out that starting rotation. Like that's what I'm saying. And I think, I mean, I would honestly want the Phillies to take a chance on him.
Spot Track has him as a projected $6.5 million contract. And Andrew, just for a little comparison here, good old Lance McCullers, he makes approximately 5.85. And Luis Severino, who, I mean, I think he's overrated. He makes 10. So like
he makes that much.
Yeah, 10.75. Well, he plays for New York, Andrew. Everyone for New York is overpaid.
That's fair.
But yeah, that's a good one. You know, I'd like to see him. I had the thought of him on the Yankees, and I was like, man, fuck, I would hate if he found his form and they just picked him up on the cheap. That'd be annoying. No, I mean, I think he's done personally. I need to see him stay healthy. But he definitely has that potential, especially if he's going to be that cheap. If he's going to be that cheap, just take a flyer on. Why not?
I mean, he's only pitched in 8 games in the last 2 years combined, so obviously not much going there. We'll see what his arm brings. You're not going to get 8-9 innings out of him again. I think either way, even if he is pitching well, I think you're going to have managers be cautious, especially at the beginning of the season, trying to help ease his way back in. But yeah, I mean, you mentioned Spot Rack, what they have him at, in that $6.5 million. I mean, those kind of older guys are all around there. Like Jake Garrett is the same thing, about 6.5, and then you have Rick Porcello at 6.1 projected. Brett Anderson 6.6. So like all those kind of older guys are right there in the same mix. I think
I love that $6 million little pot right there. That's where the Red Sox. I mean, there's been a lot of Red Sox talk this episode, but the Red Sox are going to be active this free agency because those motherfuckers owe it to the Red Sox fans, quite frankly, to be active, to play in there. And Heim Bloom is already out there. He's looking for pitchers with one really plus pitch that he can lean on, and then to deal with it, he's going to go for these like middle tier free agents. I could see him, coming up and grabbing, like maybe a Stroman or not a Stroman, a Kluber for 6, someone for 5 around here trying to, fill it, see what he got.
Yeah, and that some other names I think that are right there, even cheaper. And I'm interested in what you say because he is 37, but he is a former fan. Or you're used to be a former big fan of his in his Red Sox days. What about like a John Lester? Like he's another guy, veteran. Obviously, I mean, he had a good first half.
I'm telling you, Andrew, he's coming to the Red Sox. I'm telling you. Here's another not a prediction, a spoiler. He's coming back to the Red Sox. I think he's coming back to the Red Sox.
He's a guy that had a really good first half. Kind of, I don't know, is the workload kind of caught up to him or whatnot? Hitters just caught up to him, but he had kind of bad second half last season. But he's projected at 4.5, according to Spotrac. So I mean, that's a good deal in itself there too. I mean, if you're going to take a chance on a John Lester, because, I mean, again, even just the veteran presence to help some of these young guys. Same thing, another kind of like Corey Kluber. He's got hurt the last couple of years, and that's Cole Hamels. He's projected at 3.8. So another guy you might have a team take a chance on, but who knows? It's this market's kind of all the same type of players, which is going to make it fun and interesting.
Yes, I like this group of starting pitchers. I'm going to go a little rapid fire, Andrew. Let's do some rapid fire. I'm going to give you a pitcher, and you just give me where you think he might end up.
Oh.
I know. I'm putting.
Okay, I'm trying to think of teams' rotations real quick. All right, go ahead.
Go ahead to start thinking, because I'll start off with Cole Hamels. I think he ends up back in Atlanta.
I'm going back in Philadelphia.
Woo! Reunion. Would you be happy about that? Ecstatic?
I wouldn't hate it.
Wow.
I love Cole Hamels. I'm worried about his health and where he's at now, but I mean, for a 5th starter, he wouldn't be bad.
Okay. Adam Wainwright.
St. Louis.
Ooh, I think he goes back. I think he also goes to Atlanta.
Atlanta? Okay.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Jake Arrieta.
That's
retirement.
No, he'll get a deal somewhere. Let's go with. This is tough. I'm gonna go. Let's go Giants.
Okay.
They're gonna lose Kevin Gausman, I think, and
you think? I'm telling you, is he not signing that qualifying offer? If he's not, that's insane.
I forgot about that, but I thought. Did he not already? I thought he already declined it. Give me a second.
I'm looking up on Spotrac how much they think his market value on Spotrac is 13.3. If he doesn't take that qualifying offer of $18 million, I don't know what he's doing, man. But I like that pick, Jake Arrieta in the Bay.
He's already pitched with Gabe Kapler.
Yeah. Philly.
I kind of could see that. I don't know. I could see that one.
Yeah.
I just typed in his name and it comes up with he could be a fit with the Rockies.
Tanaka?
No, Gausman.
No, Tanaka's my next for you.
A team I wouldn't mind him going to. I could see the Reds taking a chance on him.
I think he goes back to New York.
I don't know. I feel like they're done with him. He's just been so up and down.
They should be done with him, but they're not done with the manager. They're far from done.
With some of these names, like, real quick, I mean, wouldn't you rather Odorizzi, Paxton, a Minor?
They'll make more money, probably. Let's see.
I mean, according to the sheet I printed out, this has Tanaka at his market value 16.6.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, too. 16.6. That's freaking nuts.
It has him. I sorted this out by market value. It has him being the second highest paid pitcher in this offseason. By market value.
Insane, Andrews. How much was it again? 16?
16.6.
You know who makes 16 a year right now, Andrew? David Price.
Wow.
That's crazy.
There's actually that's a name everyone forgets the Dodgers are bring it back.
Oh yeah, the Dodgers are loaded. Jake Odorizzi.
I kind of like Minnesota taking a shot on him again. They brought him back once. Injury kind of ruined his season. I kind of see them keeping him and riding with him again.
Blue Jays. Toronto.
I wouldn't hate that. I could see that. I wouldn't hate that, especially if they lose Shoemaker.
Toronto's going to be pretty active. Let's go Shoemaker. Red Sox.
Yeah, I think there's too many rumors already for him not to go to Red Sox. I don't agree with you on that one.
John Lester. Red Sox.
John Lester's a tough one. I could, you know what I could kind of see?
Sure.
Give me an Oakland reunion.
Man, I'll never forget. I will never forget the Red Sox just trading John Lester for Yoenis Cespedes. Just the weirdest trade. And the best part about it, too, Andrew, is that was the year that I got to go to Boston. So I got to see the Yoenis Cespedes Red Sox. He hit a walk-off, actually, while I was there. It was pretty funny on the second game. Actually, no, first game. I'm lying. The first game I was there.
I do think his days in Chicago are done based off of what he did in the offseason to start.
No, yeah, he's done. Shout out to Lester.
But this I kind of was interested in his. This likes him going to Atlanta.
Veteran pitching. I mean, him
instead of Hamels.
That's all they want, that veteran pitching. How about Marcus Stroman?
I wouldn't not be surprised to see him go back to the Mets. They traded for him a half a season. He opted out last year. They have the new owner. They're going to be spending money. They need pitching badly. I could easily see him staying with the Mets.
Okay. I like, I'm not going to like this, Andrew. I don't want to see this. But it is New York Yankees. Either go out and get Stroman.
Bro, so you think they bring back Tanaka and get Stroman?
Yeah. Just let you know there's something like moving your mic, so your mic's making a noise. But next up, let me see. I'm trying to find some good names. Chris Archer. I think an interesting place for Chris Archer. I think a funny place. I think it would be hilarious if he went back to Tampa Bay.
That would be funny. I can't see that though. He doesn't fit their style right now.
Just solidify the
trade. I don't think he gets signed until spring training, like a veteran minimum deal.
Yeah. Same.
Is that hold on real quick? Is that better? I kind of just.
Yes, that sounds better. Thank you. Garrett Richards, who I think low-key might be the third best pitcher in this class. I think he's projected to get 10. I think that's pretty cheap, to be honest. This would be a pitcher I would love to see the Red Sox get, but I know they won't. So I'm going to say he goes back to San Diego.
I think they're going to look for a bigger guy because I agree. I think he is a little undervalued, but I think they're going to look for something bigger than Richards. I kind of like Garrett Richards. Give me does he not have? I don't know. I'm trying to think. I could see like a Cubs.
Okay.
Kind of fit that Kyle Hendricks pair with him. I feel like pairs with him well. You're losing Lester. You're gonna need a replacement. They have money. $10 million won't be much for him.
Okay, fair enough. 33-year-old Garrett Richards, by the way. I thought he was much younger than that. I've got two more, Andrew. Or I guess 2.5 more. There's a
2.5.
Yeah, there's one we've kind of already addressed. Corey Kluber.
Angels.
Oh, God, he'd never succeed again there. He would suck there. Ugh.
Yeah, but it's got. Let me think about it. The Angels are known for that, and to take a risk on a guy like that. Yeah. It's just. Well, I guess they're getting a new GM, so that might change things, but it just has the Angels written all over it. I feel like.
No, I agree with you there. I'm gonna hop on there with you. I think he goes to the Angels. That would suck. All right, Charlie Morton.
I'm gonna agree with you. He's gonna stay in Tampa Bay. They can't afford to lose him. Like he was the ace of that rotation.
Last one.
I wonder where you're going with this one.
The stud. The golden goose. Mr. Momentum himself. Trevor Bauer. Where do you see Trevor Bauer going?
The Dodgers.
No, that's not happening. I don't.
I
No,
think it's happening. I mean, at this point, he's just hit the age 30. He's gonna want to win a ring soon. What better way to pair him up with the I don't even know what to call that team. About to be a dynasty almost, especially if they signed Trevor Bauer. I mean, just think of that rotation: Walker Buehler, Trevor Bauer, Clayton Kershaw, Dustin May. I'll tell you where I want to see him go. Obviously, if it's not the Phillies.
Phillies. Okay, where do you want to go?
I honestly would love to see him go to the Angels. Mike Trout needs some pitching. Let him go there. They've never had the pitching. Give me Trevor Bauer to the Angels. I would love to see that. Hey, and here's another thing. The new GM's going to want to make a big splash, so maybe he goes after a big signing like that.
That would suck too. I hate when free agents go to the Angels now. I hate it.
Why?
What
do you have against the Angels?
They just go and die there and just irrelevance. Anthony Rendon had a great year this year. No one saw it because he plays in Anaheim. Mike Trout had a great year every year. No one ever sees it. It hurts my feelings, Andrew. We thought they were about to be a borderline playoff team this year, and they couldn't even touch the playoffs this year. Not even close. It's very annoying. I'm just tired of seeing it, Andrew. I want to see something else. I want to see
the Browns of the MLB.
Yeah, close to it. Close to it. I mean, the 76ers are the Browns of the NBA. So, Trevor Bauer, I think if he doesn't go to Boston, I think he goes to San Diego. I think he goes to the Padres to team up with his buddy Mike Clevenger and try to knock off the Dodgers.
Okay, I want to hate that. I would be interested to see.
All right, so let's talk about relief pitchers real quick because there's obviously a ton out on the market, and the ones that we don't know already are probably going to be ones that dominate in postseason play. So, I mean, these are important signings, though, as you can tell by the postseason. You need these highlight relievers. So a certain team of ours had the worst bullpen ERA of all time, I believe, and could really use some help in here, Andrew. So I would like to know, because I know you and your Philadelphia brethren have talked about this, who are the couple relievers that you're eyeing right now and you would love to see your team sign?
I think an obvious name, I don't see him getting him, but is Brad Hand. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know what happened in the postseason last year, but I still absolutely go after Brad Hand. Leon Hendricks, I'd love. A guy I wanted the Phillies to trade for a few years ago, when before the White Sox were bad, or before they turned good, was Alex Cora. I've always been a fan of his. I would not hate that signing. Those are the main closers I'd want. And then Liam Hendricks, I mean, he's pretty good. I've already heard a lot of rumors about Liam Hendricks, so maybe that's a real possibility. So we'll see there. Outside of that, I think when you turn to the other guys, I wouldn't hate a Ken Giles reunion. He's kind of up and down at times, but I think he could really – I've always been a Ken Giles fan. He kind of hits – I don't know if he still hits 100, but he was hitting 101, 102. And then there's a lot of names, so it's hard. I don't want to go through all of them because at this point, I'd take almost any of them. But I think, I mean, Shane Green, he's had good history. Was a little off last year or 2 years ago, whatever. We're gonna need. I really want to re-sign Jose Alvarez. He was one of our best relievers. He got hurt last year. But I would do everything they can to re-sign Jose Alvarez because we need that lefty in the pen. Jeremy Jeffries, he's going to be out there. So I don't know. There's a lot of names. The ones I said in the beginning are the main guys I want. But knowing the Phillies in recent history, we'll go with the Brandon Workman, bring him back. Sergio Romo.
Fuck yeah.
Those are probably the guys the Phillies are going to be looking at.
Sam wants to know what relief pitchers would uproot their life during a pandemic to move to Philly, though, Andrew. He's got a good point. It's a pandemic. Can't uproot life.
No, not at all. That's it's the most frustrating comment I've ever heard. Or one of the most I've ever heard. Do you know what Sam's referring to?
Yeah, your GM was like, we
Yeah.
can't sign people in this
No, it
climate.
wasn't our GM, it was our owner because
Oh, sorry, your own.
he that was his excuse for not hiring another GM right now.
Of course. I mean, why would you?
Which conspiracy theory, Matt Klentak is still the GM of the Phillies. That
Explain.
that is why. Because Matt Klentak is great friends with Andy McPhail, who is still currently the owner, who they decided not to fire but keep in the organization.
What is he?
And then Matt Klentak steps down as GM, but remains in the Phillies organization. And the Phillies have still yet to interview one guy for the new GM spot. Not one guy has been interviewed yet for the new GM spot. So my theory is, well, obviously it's just all for fun, but my theory is Matt Klentak is still the GM because of his good relationship with McPhail, and they're just using the whole COVID thing as an excuse not to interview anyone. Because deep down, Matt Klentak is still holding office and making the decisions.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I can't argue with that. You're probably right. I also need relief pitchers, Andrew. So let me give you some names. Yasmiro Petit from the A's.
Yeah.
We'd like to see a little bit of him. Trevor Rosenthal. Thought about it.
Oh, I forgot about him. I don't know. I forgot him.
You'd like him on the Phillies?
Absolutely.
I have a lot of mixed feelings about him. I don't know. I'd be really on the fence. I kind of don't want Trevor Rosenthal because he's kind of old, and with the yips, you never know when that shit comes back and just never throw a strike again. Pedro Baez, the guy who can just slow down the game the absolute most in the major league.
Yes, he can.
He's a great though. Aaron Loop from the Rays, he did his thing. Not great, but he's a solid reliever. I wouldn't mind seeing the Workman back in Boston.
Take him.
Chris Davinsky, I really want in Boston. And I don't think the Red Sox are going to be in the Liam Hendricks, Brad Hand, Roberto Osuna conversation. But maybe, Kirby Yates, if he doesn't resign with San Diego, maybe the Red Sox pick him up, but we'll see. Oh, Blake,
yeah, Kirby.
By the way, Blake Treinen's a free agent as well.
Kirby Yates is an interesting name based off the year he had last year. Struggled pretty good, so I don't know what his market's going to bring. Spotrac has him at about 8.6 million. So they actually haven't gotten a raise based off his 2020 salary.
Yeah, but he's been getting underpaid though. I mean,
that's true.
Looking at relief pitchers, I mean, Chapman makes 17.2. That's crazy. Familia, you don't know how much money Familia makes on the Mets. He makes 16.6.
Yeah, they locked him up when he had that really good year, and he hasn't done anything since.
How insane is that? That's crazy. And
that's fine by me.
Joe Kelly, by the way, is 8.5.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned earlier, the importance of the relievers have been shown these last couple of postseasons, and I think teams are starting to figure out and they're starting to give up some money for him. I mean, Sam, I know Sam will be happy if the A's lose both William Hendricks and Petit.
Well, I think they are. So, Sam,
you think they lose both of them?
Yeah,
I don't think they'll bring back one of them.
I think they'll lose both. I think they're just going to be too expensive at the end of the day for the good old Oakland A's.
Spotrac has Petit at his market value at 3.6.
Andrew, this is the Oakland A's we're talking about here.
That's fair.
They
got Liam Hendricks going from $5 million in 2020 to $15 million. That's a pretty nice jump for him.
Deserves every penny. He's a stud. Probably one of the better if not best closer in baseball. All right, let's do a little rapid fire here, Andrew. Let me get some names. Liam Hendrick, where do you think he's going?
Phillies.
I think he's going there too. Kirby Yates. I think he returns to the Padres.
I was going to say that too.
Brad Hand.
Red Sox.
Ooh, thank you.
They need a closer bad. You saw him go after before. Craig Kimbrell helped them win a World Series. I think this basically Craig Kimbrell 2.0.
No, it's not. Brad Hand throws like 80 poo.
I'm not saying like in terms of pitch
No,
to pitch. I'm
I think
talking about like
I'm going Dodgers. By the way, Dodgers.
really
Yeah, I
giving
think.
up on Canley.
Yeah, I think you know. I don't think they give up on. He's obviously going to be on the team, but I think it would be wise of them to sign Blake Trinan to another at least year deal. I mean, sign him again and make him the closer because I think Jansen's kind of over the hill. So sign him, and if you don't get Blake Trinan, then Brad Hand. I think Brad Hand goes to LA though.
Okay.
The Workman. If anyone's signing him,
I mean, somebody will. Well, I'll just throw a team out because they'll be a non-contender hoping for something good.
Nash.
What was it?
I've got him going to the Nationals.
Oh, I love that. Let us face Workman. Those curveballs sit there for anybody to hit.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
No, in the Phillies like that. He'll go to the Nationals and like strike us out every
He
time.
probably will. He's a stud. He's an absolute stud. Ken Giles?
I kind of like a Toronto reunion.
Phillies.
You think so?
Phillies. Shane Green. I've got him going back to Atlanta.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's going to take over the closing spot because this player is leaving, Mark Melanson.
I was going to say, though, I kind of like Shane Green to San Diego, though. I can see that one.
That'd be a good one. Mark Melanson. I think this is another Phillies candidate. Phillies or Blue Jays here?
I think the Phillies candidate, but I don't see why Atlanta gets rid of him.
Because he's old and not very good. I think he goes to the Blue Jays. Mark Melanson.
I'd like Ken Giles if I was him.
Trevor Rosenthal. San Diego. Traded for him, you got to keep him.
If only that was the case. It depends on his. Okay, I could see San Diego as well, but I don't know why. You know who else wouldn't surprise me?
Who?
The team he started his career at as a starter.
Oh boy.
I could see the Cardinals.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, they have. I mean, they got what? Andrew Miller, but he's kind of been up and down. I mean, I think their closer opted out this year, so he'll be back. So I take that back. I forgot
remember Hicks. You know Hicks. He's throwing 100 and fucking 5-mile-an-hour sinkers. It's ridiculous.
I forgot he opted out for a second.
But I mean, relievers are good. Everyone needs relievers. How about Blake Trinan?
He's going back to the Dodgers.
It would be my dream closer is Blake Trinan for the Red Sox.
Rather him than Brad Hand?
Yeah.
Why?
Every day of the week. I just think I just it's not there anymore. I think Brad Hand's kind of over the hill. And you'll probably tell me, oh, Blake Trinan's older than Brad Hand. But Blake Trinan's throwing 100 miles an hour, like fastball and sinkers that are just, untouchable, dude. Just absolutely untouchable.
Do you think Brad Hand's at a similar spot to like a Jonathan Papelbon when he kind of just hit that age 30 and everything just changed for him? And he hasn't been able to make the adjustment?
By the way, Brad Hand 30, 31, Trinan's 32. Man, I just think that lasting impression of the Indians, the blown save in the playoffs, I think that's gonna just kind of ride on them, and really it would be, I don't know what the word would to be described, but if you went to like a Padres, or I don't know, I mean the Reds always need relievers because their bullpen was just as bad as yours this year. If you went to like a Reds or something like that, that could be interesting.
I would love to see it.
But no, I think he goes to the Dodgers, picks up a nice little like 1 year, $10 million piece, just like they did with Blake Trinan. And then Blake Trinan goes to Boston. Fingers crossed. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Do you have any other relievers you want to mention real fast?
Nah, I mean, I think we touched on the majority of the top ones. I don't know. Maybe guess where do you think Roberto Ozuna goes?
Nowhere. No one signed him because he's a dickhead.
That'd be surprising. Who else? Let's see, maybe Tony Watson. Didn't he close last year?
Trevor May is my other dark horse for the Red Sox. Trevor May hopefully goes to the Red Sox.
Oh, okay.
I've been listening. That's where I've been hearing on the grapevine.
Not gonna lie, you said Trevor May, and I heard May, and I was thinking Dustin May. I was like, I almost said not a chance.
No, Dustin May should have been on the Red Sox with the Mookie Betts trade, but who's to say?
I mean, again, I guess last thing, you have a couple names out here similar to the starters who, I mean, they used to kind of have a name in the league, and we'll see what kind of market they bring. But I think overall, I mean, does Aaron Loop go back to the Rays?
Yeah, probably.
He'll be one of the better lefty candidates out there. As you mentioned, Trevor May, you got a Tyler Clippard, Hector Rendon. I mean,
I hate watching Tyler Clippard pitch. I hate
is the goggles
so bad. I love the goggles, but his whole motion where he's like this and comes all the way over the top, I hate it. And he also pitched for the Dodgers, I believe, the World Series when they played the Red Sox. And every time he came in, it just warms my tummy. Same thing with my boy Ryan Madsen. Shout out to him. I know you love him too, Andrew.
I love Ryan Madsen. One of the best changeups that I've seen.
One of the worst pitchers I've ever seen in the postseason when I saw him. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Every time he came in, the Red Sox were scoring runs. That's why I love him.
He was a huge part of our World Series.
Yeah,
He was a great setup man before for Brad Lidge.
Yeah, Dave Roberts loved himself some Ryan Madsen. He got crushed every time he came in the game too. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, he was never really the same after he left the Phillies.
No one is, Andrew. No one is.
I take that back. He had some good years.
All right. There's going to be some awards announced in the next coming days. I think we've already gave our predictions, but let's do it again real fast. Maybe they changed. AL Cy Young.
AL Cy Young will be Shane Bieber.
Yes, I agree. NL Cy Young
will be Trevor Bauer.
I agree.
State of Ohio owns the pitchers.
That's so funny. AL MVP.
Jose Abreu.
Special mention to Shane Bieber. NL MVP.
Marcell Ozuna.
Freddie Freeman. Thank you very much.
No, it's going to be – I agree. It's going to be Freddie Freeman.
Good. Okay. Well, Andrew, I think a little longer show than usual. Thanks for those who are still tuned in. But, I think we finally finished everything. Do we miss anything?
No, I think we hit everything. I got a question for you. We'll end with this.
Sure.
I saw this question on Twitter today.
Okay.
It was Philly related, but I'm going to turn it to you. Okay. What is your biggest what-if moment for the Red Sox?
For the Red Sox, I mean,
so like for mine, it would be like, what if Ryan Howard never tore his Achilles? Like, would he have been the same?
What are those fucking dummies? Don't trade Mookie Betts. No, I mean the one that I think about often is what if the Red Sox went in 2003 and then not in 2004. I think about that, or I think of what if the Red Sox hadn't won in 2004. Would the curse still continue on to 2013?
That's fair.
I think about that often. Trading John Lester, that is also a very frustrating one I think about. Who else? I mean, this is for the older Red Sox fans, which I mean I'm considered a young Red Sox fan. But trading Nomar was a big deal. They traded Nomar Garcia-Parra right before the 2004 World Series. They got Orlando Cabrera for it apparently. So shout out to him, defensive wizard.
Well, I guess you're going old moves. I guess Babe Ruth's on there, right?
Well, I guess that fat ass is on there. He's not even a real person, dude. So he's made up. What a dickhead he is.
Made up? What are you talking about?
He's a made up character, dude. He's fictional. He's not even a real person. I think Babe Ruth, he's just a fictional, like he's like Paul Bunyan, Andrew. He has like a blue ox with him now. Babe Ruth's not real.
Okay.
There's no videos of Babe Ruth playing baseball. I don't believe it.
What is it? Okay, what is he, Rocky Balboa then?
Yeah, exactly. He's fucking made up. What do you? He's the dude. The fucking he's Johnny Appleseed and all this shit. He's made up. I don't know. What are you telling me?
I can honestly say it's the first time I've heard that in my life.
Good. Well, I'm glad I'm here. Andrew, do you have anything to plug before we head out?
You can check me out on my other podcast at True_Philly Sport, Philly_Sports Now, and at ANYP Phillies.
Wow. Thank you so much, Andrew. I'm surprised you did not mention sign JT today. I mean, I thought you would.
It's in the name there. We didn't talk about position players, so I felt like we already went along. But hey,
I just feel like every episode you just need to remind everyone to sign JT.
That's why I put in the name there. I figured it's more important than showing my actual name. So,
right, no one.
You know what? Whoever's running the Phillies at this point,
whoever.
sign JT.
Okay, good. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. I want you to remind everyone to sign JT after every show now, I guess. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thanks. We appreciate you guys as always. Longer show, but, we try to give you the content. We'll be back on Thursday. Thursday we might do best people to not have a ring. People we want to see get a ring. Clayton Kershaw conquered his mountain, but maybe, we'll add some other guys in there. Thanks everyone to listen. You guys can catch me on this show Tuesdays and Thursdays at Jose Bouquet. Follow Pub Sports Radio for all of your needs and wants. He's got some great shirts. It's going to be a great time, guys. Catch us on Thursday. We'll catch you guys next time. Radio Google.